Hey, it's Jen. Welcome back to the channel for a current household introduction. I cannot remember the last time that I've shown you guys what I've been doing in my save. It has been a moment since I've been able to actually play for myself, and even though I'm still continuing Jordan Patino's life off camera, the only issue that I'm having playing with Jordan is that I feel like that type of gameplay is very nichey. It's hard to expand. It's hard to be broad with it, because I feel like if she leaves Chestnut Ridge, it just is taking the story out of that like country element. I don't know. I have a little bit of a complex around that. I wanted to start up a little household, and I was thinking, what type of Sims would I like to play with? If you know me, you know I love drama, you know I love mods. In fact, the other day I just posted a video on 8 mods you need to spice up your Sims love life. I still have those mods in game presently, so if you see anything crazy happen and you were like, hey, how exactly can I get that to happen in my game, just check out the video, because I'm going to be referencing a lot of those mods in this little current household. Also, keep in mind, the current household is a very chatty video. I don't know how much gameplay we'll do. It's probably going to be very minimal. It's mostly going to be me telling you like how sick and twisted I am behind the scenes, and like how I love just to play with drama and ruin my Sims lives. But I'm gonna pause really quick because Amie actually has to go to work in like less than 15 Sim minutes, and we all know how quickly time flies when you're having fun. Back to what I was saying earlier, when I was thinking of what type of household or Sim would I like to create and play with, I wanted to create a male Sim, just for the simple fact that I don't really play with a lot of male Sims. I also love the fact that if you decided to get married or whatever the situation is, you can pass on that, you know, that last name. So here we have Alex De La Cruz. I already kind of had an idea of what type of Sim I wanted to create when I made him. I kind of thought of someone young, you know, starting off in life, maybe living in the city, probably having, you know, some girl drama of sorts, but just really figuring out their life kind of day by day, almost, you know, just living it by the seat of their pants, essentially. So I was going to make Alex have an ex-girlfriend, and his ex-girlfriend was going to be originally Amie. But then when I was creating her in cast, I started to fall in love with her. Just something about the way that she looks, the way that she acts, also like her aesthetic and her wardrobe made me very, very attached super quickly. And I was like, you know what, actually, I think it'd be like a lot more fun if I started playing with them before they had this big falling out. And like, what would that falling out look like? You know, I'm really just trying to connect all the webs to the story together. The whole like foundation of this household is a couple on the verge of breaking up, and once we get a little bit deeper into the current household, I'll tell you exactly why they're on the verge of breaking up. I'm personally a huge fan of when other Simmers do these little current household videos, because it gives me major inspiration of how I can kind of make my personal gameplay a little bit different. So I did decide to let Amie go off to work, because I feel like we're going to be talking for quite a while, and you know, Alex is getting really hungry, so I'm gonna let him finish his fried chicken sliders, and then he also needs to clean up the counter because that's getting super duper dirty. But let's just kick off this current household with a little apartment tour, in case you guys are curious, because this apartment does look very different. So a while back I also did a video on how you can kind of make your own custom apartments using the tool mod, and let me just tell you, this has become quite the lifesaver in terms of being able to kind of recycle and reuse the apartments in San Myshuno without feeling like you live in the same one time and time again. If that's something you're interested in checking out, I'll definitely link the video in the description below, and I'll also link everything that I talk about that pertains to this video. If you're wondering, because I get this question all the time, oh my god, if you're wondering about my reshade, my skins, everything that I use, how I get my game to look the way it does, I also did a video on that, and I'll make sure to link it down below, because I've been getting questions on the daily about my reshade. I just don't know if it's available anymore. That's the only issue. But anyway, here is our little apartment. So we actually live, where do we live? We live in 131321 Chic Street, which is in the fashion district of San Myshuno. So it's that apartment that kind of has like this really narrow like piece in the front, and then it kind of widens up. So what I decided to do is I decided to utilize tool, right? And so this is where the door is, and I created like a little hallway with a closet, and then I just used the platform, like the platform tool in build by, and blocked off this section. So it's not like too annoying, like it's not empty like this, right? But it also feels like it's blocked off. Like I feel like I'm in a custom apartment. I had to add in some like windows and things like that, which again, I had to use the actual tool mod for, because you're not able to currently do that in build by. And then I created kind of like the small little New York styled apartment, and I'm still, y'all, for the love of God, I'm still trying to like auto lights. I know a lot of you have been suggesting that lately. Jen, just try auto lights. It's a vibe. And to be honest, I kind of like it. Like, I like this more realistic take on lighting because I don't know about you, but most people don't have their lights on 24/7 in every single freaking room. And having a nice little discount on the bills is also a plus, especially when you're a young couple just trying to make ends meet. I figured it'd be kind of fun to give you guys a first person apartment tour. So once you get off the elevator, we are the last door at the very end. And then when you walk in, here is like our little entryway. If you know anything about this apartment, then you're probably familiar with the fact that there's like a little body outline. So in an attempt to cover it up, the landlord has given us a free rug. We also have like a little light switch, a thermostat, and then I think this is Amy's jacket. Because there isn't a lot of room to put in like a full-size dresser, the landlord has also put in a little closet that Alex and Amie are currently using as their clothing closet. So then once we go through the little entryway, we are met with our very tiny little corner nook that we've turned into like a makeshift living room. So we have like a tiny little TV. I think we're actually using this end table as a nightstand, which I like, honestly. I kind of envisioned a lot of these items just being found on like the side of the street or maybe at a flea market. Again, these two are just starting off on their own, so they don't really have a lot to show for it just yet. We do have Amy's painting. In case you guys didn't know, she was born and almost raised in Mount Como. I think she left Mount Como when she was around like 6 or 7. Of course, we have a gaming console because no matter how broke we are, we have to have video games, we have to have entertainment. And then over here we have our little kitchen nook. Although it's relatively small, it is super duper functional. The most exciting part of this kitchen is just this little shelf area. I've decided to put in a light switch. In fact, I've been doing more of these like realistic touches to a lot of my builds. Light switches, like central air with the little vents that I do sometimes. I took the full-size messy towel rack from, I believe it's the bathroom clutter kit, and I decided to scale it down so it looked like a little rack where you put like your dish rags and your kitchen washcloths and things like that. And up here we have Amy's pathetic little houseplant that she's been trying to grow forever, but it's only been sprouting this little this little weak little sapling. This is a comic book cover that Alex got from GeekCon, and he decided just to frame it. And the last item on the shelf is the snow globe of Sam Shuno that Alex decided to gift to Amie. And right off the kitchen we have our bathroom. There's really not a lot going on in here. I hope that once we get more simoleons and a little more money, I can actually like throw up some paintings, maybe put in like a little robe rack or something and kind of accessorize it a little bit more. Quick question for you. If you use G-Shade or Reshade and you have your sim living in an apartment, when you scroll around, does this happen? I don't know if y'all will catch it, but like, does it in some angles create like even deeper kind of like darker shadows? It's super annoying. So that's why I had to just show you guys the bathroom without going into first person mode, because it like glitches out on me. It's super weird and only happens in apartments. But anyways, over here in this little nook, we have our dinette with mismatched chairs. Now we're gonna go ahead into where all the magic happens. Well, not as much as Alex would like it to. Out of all the pieces in the apartment, this right here is probably my favorite room. I really love like this area with the windows because it creates such a beautiful view. And then we have like our little work desk over here, which obviously invigorates some inspiration. We have a bookshelf. We have a little picture of Amie and Alex looking happy, and they are sometimes when they're not fighting. Here's one of Alex's old license plates that he's decided to keep. He doesn't drive anymore, so it's more of like a sentimental object to him for sure. And then down here we have a picture of Alex and a cosplayer. Amie and Alex just went to the latest Comic Con, and it looks like they had a fun time, but in reality Amie made it a freaking nightmare for him, so that's kind of sad. And then right here I have the little breaker box because this apartment also has really faulty wiring. This thing breaks all the freaking time. I didn't want to remove all of the struggles of living in this apartment, so you will see like mice and rodents, and occasionally we do run into some electrical issues. Because this apartment is so small, I didn't have enough room to place the double bed exactly center in the room in order to create like a pathway on both sides. So I had to like put it up against the wall, and I was a little reluctant to do that because I've heard that there's a lot of issues when you do this. Like Sims have problems getting in and out of the bed, which is true. It's definitely been a little problematic, but actually if I just click on it, like I wanted Alex to go and sleep on this side of the bed, he'll go there automatically. So for whatever reason, it's actually been working out quite well for the both of them. So I don't have any complaints. I suppose while Amy's at work, I could tell you guys what is going on between her and Alex. So basically, Amie and Alex have been dating for around 6 months, I think, probably around 6 months or so. And within the last month of their relationship, Amie had gotten pretty adamant about them moving in together, taking the next step. And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Alex didn't feel like he was necessarily ready for it, but because he loved Amie and he didn't want to lose her, he was willing to take that chance. And now he's really learning the meaning of you never never know somebody until you move in with them, and that is a hard lesson for him to learn. He's actually kind of concerned whether or not they're going to work out in the long term, because sometimes Amie can be really jealous and super duper controlling. In fact, Ocean put it perfectly on Twitter. I had to post about this family and like kind of like the, you know, the things that they were going through, and it was just really cute to see your guys' comments and get your feedback. But Ocean said that Amie is basically the type to slash your tires and blame you for it, which I thought was so funny. I was like, girl, don't give her any ideas, because literally, like, if Alex was still driving a car, that'd be the first thing that she would do. Like I was saying earlier, she made GeekCon, their first GeekCon together, a literal nightmare. So what had happened was Alex was trying to get a picture with all the cosplayers at GeekCon. That's like his favorite thing to go to. He loves that event, and he was super excited to bring Amie. And as he was like walking up to one of the female cosplayers, he asked her to take a picture. Well, he took the picture, but then Amie like comes up and she's like, why are you taking a picture with her? Like, do you like her? Do you have a crush on her? It was like so out of pocket. It was ridiculous. And of course, Alex is kind of jarred by this, you know, so he puts his phone away quickly and then has to chase her over to the food court, and they're arguing about it, and the whole thing is just, it was a complete ish show. So that is what happened with that whole GeekCon situation. There's more to the relationship too that has definitely been a huge impact on whether or not Alex wants to stay with Amie. Granted, the fact that he loves her, and you know, most times she is like super affectionate and loving and very thoughtful. You know, also the fact that they have a lot of things in common, but there's also some big things that they don't have in common. What they do have in common is obviously Amie is a gamer. She's a self-proclaimed geek, and you know, that's one of their favorite things to do together is just play video games for hours, order pizza, and just have a good time. Also, she is career driven. She's in the tech guru career. I think she's already on level 2, which is crazy. This is actually one of the reasons why they decided to move to San Myshuno, is because this area is huge when it comes to tech, and it was just too great of an opportunity for Amie to pass up. Granted, this led to Alex having to quit his job, and he's been really struggling finding something out here that he resonates with. So he spends most of his days cleaning the apartment. Like one would say, he's a clean freak. In fact, I actually think that's one of his traits. But yeah, he spends most of his days just cleaning the apartment, playing video games, and one of his faults, I would say, is vaping. Like, vaping inherently doesn't make him a bad person, but it's to the point where he's actually quite freaking addicted, and Amie hates this about him because he vapes so much and it's unhealthy. But here's the thing about Alex, like, he's actually trying to lean more towards a healthier lifestyle, cooking more meals at home, getting into diet and exercising, and maybe dive into the athletic aspiration. I would definitely consider Alex very like aloof. He loves to live day by day, but he's also holding himself back to accomplish his dreams due to his lack of motivation. But he is working on changing that. I just noticed that he has another snow globe. This one's the Plum Bob Snow Globe Edition. Huh, interesting. I just had Alex change into his everyday wear because it's almost 7 o'clock and he's been in his pajamas, and he doesn't also want to smell like vape smoke, but he is feeling better since he did. And Amie just came home and she brought $342 freaking dollars today. Alex loves that his woman is a girl boss and she's out there making money, but a part of him also feels like he's a little inferior because she is making the money and he's home playing video games and cleaning the house the entire time. That's just a little personal complex that he's just gonna have to deal with. And Amie is feeling quite stressed because she's been working all day. So I'm gonna have her come inside and maybe just, you know, blow off some steam. She's gonna go and play a little video game. We're gonna do some My Sims racing. She'll eat probably in a little bit. She had a late lunch at work, so she's not entirely too hungry. I wanted to take you guys into Create a Sim so I could kind of show off Amie's style, because that is actually one of the things that I'm proud of. And actually, as dumb as it sounds, it's one of the reasons I felt so compelled to play with her, is because when I was putting her wardrobe together, I'm like, ooh, this is different. Like, I really, really, really like this Sim. And it was just hard for me to like leave her in the past. So one of the first things you might notice about Amie is her colorful hair. I typically don't play with colorful hair. I never really apply it to my Sims. I'm not really sure why, but when I saw this particular hairstyle, I couldn't walk past it. I thought it was so perfectly her. So she's wearing this very like choppy bob. We have like these black and purple accents. I really, 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 really like this hairstyle on her. Also, I am playing with like sliders and such, and so you can see that Amie's kind of on the shorter side. I envision she's probably around like the 5'4" range. She could be like 5'3" or 5'5", but definitely somewhere in there, whereas Alex obviously towers over her. So for her first outfit, we have it very casual. She's wearing her GeekCon shirt. Y'all know that story now. So she's wearing that, and then she has like these little denim shorts with her sneakers. I've told you this 1,000 times, but you are going to see me reuse items quite often because I like to keep my Sim style realistic, and not a lot of people have 45 different pairs of shoes to match every outfit. Like, I literally wear the same pair of sneakers sneakers every single freaking day. And I envision a lot of people are like that, and a lot of people do. So that's why you will see her wearing the same shoes in multiple different outfits. So she's wearing her sneakers, and then she also has like a purple nail polish. Clearly, this girl loves purple. And one of the things that is very sentimental and near and dear to her heart is this necklace. She is obsessed with moons. In fact, it actually goes into her tattoo of a moth here with, of course, these little crescent moons. For her second outfit, this is probably the most intriguing. She's wearing this little cardigan with one part of it like tucked into her high-waisted boyfriend jeans, and then she's wearing these little combat boots. The third outfit is kind of a play on the first one. She just has like this little zip-up cardigan. I love like this rusty red color on her. It is so flattering. I was kind of wondering how hard it'd be to style an entire wardrobe with somebody that has hair like this, but actually it's really easy and it hasn't been a problem at all. And she's wearing some socks this time, and then of course she has like the sneakers that you saw earlier. Also, her nail polish is literally purple throughout the entire catalog, so nothing changes there. So for her formal outfit, she's wearing this cute little two-piece. I thought it was very flattering on her body type. Her combat boots, and then her necklace. And this time I did decide to give her a little bit of makeup just for a change. So she's wearing a nice little matte blotted lip. She does have some eyeliner on. It's kind of hard to tell. And then for all of her outfits, she'll always be wearing a blush, because I feel like Sims kind of look flat, and by adding in a little bit of blush, it just kind of livens them up a little bit. So for her athletic wear, she's wearing this little crop zip up hoodie. We have a fanny pack, these cute little like short biker short legging things, and then some sneakers and socks. For her sleepwear, she's wearing this crop off the shoulder sweatshirt, and then she's wearing a pair of Alex's boxers and some socks. I decided to give her two different sleepwear outfits because I also wanted to give her the option of when she actually comes out of the shower, maybe she's wearing her robe and then she has her hair up in a towel, something along those lines. Again, going for realism. Party is definitely one of my favorite outfits. She's wearing this cute little crop like sweatshirt thing. It has like buttons in the front. I love this skirt with a thick chunky belt, and then these shoes are very interesting. I don't even know what the hell these are. These aren't clogs, I knew that, but they kind of look like it. Like, they're not shoes I would normally give my sim, but for some reason I just felt like it fit her aesthetic perfectly. And then her swimwear is kind of simple, nothing too wild there, but I really like this on her. And then for her hot weather wear, I gave her this beautiful dress. You might have seen my sim Olivia in the mod review that I did the other day wearing this. This is probably one of my favorite dresses right now. It's by Quirky Introvert, in case you were wondering. I decided to pair this with her boots and her necklace. And for her outerwear, I'm just using one of these full body outfits from Snowy Escape. I just went to see how long this video was, and I think we're already at like 20 minutes, which is kind of crazy because I still feel like there's some things that I want to share with you. Alex is just doing a little workout. We don't have a lot of space in this apartment. He can actually do workouts on the TV, which is great. He just has to stand in the kitchen. And then I was thinking of having him go for a jog, but apparently he can't jog in a blizzard, which I guess makes sense, but it's a little bit of a buzzkill. So I had to spend some money for a kettlebell. He's already reached level 2 of the fitness skill, which now means he can discuss workout techniques with other Sims. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the actual personalities of these Sims, so I want to go over traits and things like that. Alex's current aspiration is an extreme sports enthusiast, but I'm thinking of changing it to bodybuilder, not because I can foresee Alex becoming a bodybuilder, but because there really aren't any health conscientious aspirations currently. We need to change that. And for his skills, he's still building them, so he's like a level 2 at fitness, 1 at charisma, 3 at cooking, 2 at video gaming, 1 at photography, and then 1 at romance, which is actually part of the Road Romance mod that I talked about in that whole like showcase video to spice up your Sims love life. And as far as relationship goes, they just moved to San Myshuno, so they don't really know a lot of people yet. However, there is one Sim in particular that has definitely caught Alex's attention, and that is Miko Oho. One day, Alex went on a little morning jog just to kind of get familiar with the area, and he had noticed Miko in her bright pink hair, but most importantly, he was so captivated by her amazing guitar skills that he decided to give her a tip. And when he did, she noticed that he was wearing a GeekCon shirt, and she's like, "Oh, you went to the con? Me too. Like, I didn't see you there. Oh, what games do you play? And like, what comics do you like?" and all that. And so he told her what online games he likes to play, and she's like, "Oh, really? Me too. We should be online friends." And he very innocently gave her his online gamer tag, and they had been playing online for quite a while when Amie noticed, right? And obviously, with Amie being a little bit jealous, she lost her ever-loving freaking mind. So they haven't been playing online anymore. But let me just say, I could definitely see in the future maybe Alex and Miko becoming a thing. I don't know, maybe she'd be healthier for him, but also like I'm so freaking attached to Amie that I don't want that to happen. But in Alex's simology, this is where it really gets juicy. He's a very neat sim to the point where I would almost say it's like compulsive, like he's always cleaning. He is ambitious. And I know that sounds very contradictory because I just told you he had lacked motivation, but I envision this being a skill or a personality trait that he hasn't quite discovered about himself yet. He also loves the outdoors. He's clumsy. He does prefer exclusive romantic relationships, and he would also in the future love to have a child. Okay, but listen, he also has a high metabolism and milestones. He's a young man. He hasn't really done a lot. You know, he's had his first kiss. He's made a couple self-discoveries along the way. Social timeline, it looks like getting engaged could be on the horizon, but I don't think he's thinking about that right now. I'm sure Amie is, but he's not. And so that's kind of where we're at with Alex. Now, if we go over to Amie, she's actually playing some online video games, which is kind of cute. You know, she just came home from work, so she is feeling a little like worn down. She's an art lover, a bookworm too. She loves to read books, and she's also quite jealous, as I've mentioned. And kind of to manage her emotions, she writes in her journal quite frequently. She too prefers exclusive romantic relationships, but she does not, and she does not ever want to have children, which kind of sucks actually, because this is where they might have their biggest issue when it comes to compatibility. Like, I feel like all the other things they might be able to like work through, but when it comes to the core values of life, whether or not you want to have kids, I don't really feel like you should compromise on those things. And that's just me personally. It's great that our sink's broken because now we can go in and repair it. I think he wants to level up on his handiness skill, which is interesting, I guess, maybe because he is clumsy, but maybe there might be some sort of interest there, and I don't know, he could explore that career wise. But yeah, the whole situation between them, it's interesting. It's very real. It's realistic. They're two young people who decided to move in together that are still figuring one another out, and it may or may not go according to plan. Like, obviously, Alex loves her. He's very close to her. You know, he really just adores being around her. And when things are great, they're great. But God, when they're bad, they're bad. And I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen between them, honestly. Another thing too, like, I'm going to just, this is real adult here, but like their level of interest in the romantic field is very, very different. I would say Alex is very high libido and Amie is very low libido. And sometimes, you know, Alex feels rejected by her, but of course he's trying to be respectful. So there's also that element that I've been exploring, which is actually very fun to play with. Again, like sometimes when I talk about my Sims, I feel like people are confused and they think like this is how I perceive things. Like when I said earlier, Alex is feeling a little inferior about his girl being the breadwinner. Like I don't have any like actual opinions about that. It's just whenever I play with my Sims, I like to get into their head. And sometimes I like to play with narratives that maybe I don't necessarily agree with or I have opposing views on. And I think that's what makes it so fun, is because I have to challenge myself to kind of see other sides to things that I normally wouldn't see. Does that make sense? Anyways, it is freaking late. So I need Alex to go and put the fish tacos away, and I like how she has been home for a few hours. Alex just kind of gave her space. He hasn't really said anything to her, but granted we were kind of doing this video, so I get it. But like he's gonna come out and say, hey babe, like, oh, so happy you're home, how was your day? He's gonna, you know, just try to chat with her and reconnect. It's been, like I said, it's been a long day. It's been a long week actually. I think this is Amie's first week at her new job, and she's been doing amazing, y'all. Like she's literally freaking killing it. Oh, I didn't tell you, but her aspiration is to become a computer whiz in terms of traits and whatnot. You know, she's kind of still working on all of this, so her charisma is really low, but where she obviously excels is in video gaming and cooking. She does have some experience with Salvadoranian culture, which is interesting. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so I kind of found this funny. Underneath the relationship panel in their profile, I noticed that she perceives Alex as basic looking, which is a part of the whole Wicked Whims mod. I love this because sometimes this will grow with time and sometimes it will go backwards. It just depends. I don't know why. I think Alex is a very good looking dude, but also he is the first Sim she's ever kissed. They are technically soulmates, which is kind of crazy actually. And then for their sentiments, they're deeply connected. See, they do have good moments for sure, and they are growing closer from quality time. They don't fight all the time, but trust me, they do, and sometimes It's as petty as Alex leaving toothpaste in the freaking sink. But then Alex is such a clean freak that he's always cleaning up after himself. So I don't even know how that even is a thing. Maybe Amie did it and she's blaming Alex. Like, who really freaking knows? But here, hear me out. Like, the same sentiments towards Amie, though. He considers her basic looking too, which makes me wonder if they even have any damn chemistry together. Like, I don't know how I'd feel if my man was just basic to me, but it's interesting for sure. Maybe that'll change over time. We'll have to see. But over here, if we go on to Nico's profile, he perceives her as attractive. Yikes. I don't know how I would feel if I was in Amie's shoes, but also, like, she perceives Alex to be basic too, so, like, should she be offended? I'm not really sure. It says, jealous lesson. Amie is a jealous sim. Jealous sims gain a boost of confidence when near their significant other, but also can get uncomfortable when they are not around. Let me tell you, Amie is so uncomfortable. It is not even freaking funny. Like, she's uncomfortable all the time. Anytime Alex leaves or goes anywhere, she's like feeling like he's cheating on her. The whole situation between them is still really new in terms of me like playing with them and figuring it all out. Another issue that we've been having is our neighbors. They are so freaking loud and rude. It's one of the reasons why I hate living in apartments. If you all have a mod where I can fix this so I don't have to knock on my neighbor's door every 5 minutes, that would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully this video wasn't too boring and you got a good idea of the dynamic between Alex and Amie. I definitely am going to be playing more with them off camera. Of course, I would love to know what you guys think, so please feel free to give me a little feedback in the comments. Ultimately, I'm really wishing these two the best. What was supposed to start off as a single guy getting his footing in San Myshuno ended up being a guy that's trying to work it out with his girlfriend, and I couldn't be happier. Especially when I see them like this, it makes me so badly want them to stay together, but I know that isn't necessarily always the most realistic thing, and couples break up all the time due to incompatibility. And even though I don't know if I'm ready to let go just yet, or even if Alex is ready to let go yet, it could be very possible that that part is just simply inevitable. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. I hope that you all enjoyed, and if you did, you know what to do. Don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below where the sun does not shine, and I will see you all next time.